Yeah, we don't want to talk about that. We're gonna get through this. That's
He changed his mind. As he was going into jail, he asked me to help him with Mayweather promotion. Signed the actual fighters. We had acquisition of Gamboa, Andre Durrell, IBF champion, Billy Dib. I brought him over while Floyd was incarcerated. Then he comes home, let's get Floyd back in pocket. $300,000 chains, new Lamborghini. And I'm sitting there going, when you gonna give me the money? But I ain't trying to press him because he just got out of jail.
Are we talking over $2 million?
It's about that. When he finally does bring up the actual situation, he acted like he didn't know anything. I didn't tell y'all to do that. And I'm looking at him and he looked in my face and he tell me to do that.
Yeah, you gotta do better than that. You on the internet saying you own 62 properties that you spent $402 million on. There's no records of the transactions, man. I hope this is not a Brooklyn Bridge situation.
They say, work in silence and let success make the noise. But Floyd Mayweather did the exact opposite, bragging about a $402 million estate before the ink was even dry. Just weeks after flaunting the massive real estate purchase, the FBI stepped in. Turns out the deal wasn't officially sealed, and once the feds got involved, things unraveled fast. And the result? Mayweather lost it all, and even the champ couldn't hold back the tears. So, let's break down exactly what happened. Floyd, money. Mayweather may be the greatest defensive boxer of all time, but what good is a shoulder roll when the punches come from behind a legal contract? For years, Mayweather dominated the ring, racking up a flawless 50-0 record and flaunting his wealth with unmatched confidence. He threw jabs, hooks, and uppercuts with surgical precision. But when it came to real estate deals, paperwork, and ownership transfers, it seems he left his guard wide open. And now, according to swirling rumors and leaked sources, that mistake may have just cost him $500 million.
So even ChatGPT is saying, like, that's not official. Whether Mayweather is saying it or not, ChatGPT is saying it's not official. That deal has not gone through.
It all started with a flex, just another day in the life of Floyd Mayweather. A few weeks ago, he proudly claimed online that he had purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York, dropping a staggering $402 million in what was supposed to be one of his boldest financial moves yet. The post caught fire instantly.
I know you guys see me on the regular talking about real estate. Well, lately I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me.
Fans, critics, and real estate watchers all took notice. But almost immediately, something seemed off. First, he said he bought all 62 buildings. Then, not long after, he backtracked and claimed he'd only bought a few. That inconsistency raised red flags, not just for viewers, but apparently for federal investigators too. What allegedly followed is straight out of a crime thriller. Sources suggest that Floyd had already wired the money, hundreds of millions of dollars, before the legal transfer of ownership was ever finalized. No transfer deed, no formal handover, no verified documents proving he owned the properties.
Now we hearing this report that it said Floyd don't own that. Yeah, I went and read the report, and I'm saying it's saying that usually deals, and I'm saying when you, like, after they done, you see that it was a transfer of ownership. There's no transfer of ownership on these properties. What you mean it's no transfer of ownership on these properties? Champ on the internet talking about he spent $402 million on these properties. I'm hoping this is not somebody just caught Floyd Mayweather slipping. He said he owned them properties with no partners. You heard him say that out of his own mouth.
And then came the most shocking part of the allegation. The sellers of the buildings weren't even who they said they were. Mayweather, it seems, may have been scammed. Not by amateurs, but by professionals who played the long game and targeted him at his most confident. That's when the FBI reportedly got involved. Once they started digging into the botched real estate deal, they didn't just stop at the 62 buildings. They kept going. And what they claim to have found might be the beginning of a financial downfall that no one saw coming.
A California judge has dismissed a lawsuit against reality star Kim Kardashian, boxer Floyd Mayweather, and other celebrities over their cryptocurrency endorsements. Investors in the Ethereum Max, which is not affiliated with the popular Ethereum token, filed the suit back in January. So this suit claims celebrities conspired with Ethereum Max to promote the token to boost its value so company executives could profit by selling the holdings.
Rumors now suggest that federal agents uncovered a long trail of suspicious financial activity, unreported money hidden across multiple accounts, digital evidence tying Floyd to alleged crypto scams, proof of involvement in underground gambling operations, and massive stashes of untaxed cash moving through shady shell companies. For a man who once publicly battled the IRS over unpaid taxes, this isn't just bad news, it's potentially career-ending.
It'll be great.
I feel good, training hard. Did Floyd not take out his own jets?
Floyd got 3.
Oh yeah,
so Floyd's got the money he got, and he got
tax problems.
Yeah.
That's what he's got. Oh, no.
Now, here's where the story starts to twist into full-blown conspiracy territory. Some say Mayweather was set up, that someone in his inner circle may have lured him into the fake real estate deal, knowing it would trigger a federal investigation. Others speculate it's revenge, maybe from a former business partner, maybe someone from his past who finally saw an opportunity to bring him down. Because when you're as rich, loud, and powerful as Floyd, you don't just make fans, you make enemies. And enemies are patient. There's even a theory floating around that the whole 62 buildings post was a plant. A setup designed to bait Mayweather into publicly bragging before the trap was sprung. Whether he got cocky or just careless, the moment he hit post, the wheels were in motion. And if this theory is true, it worked perfectly.
You know what's crazy? People are always in my business, worried about what I'm doing, what Floyd is doing, what Floyd ain't doing, what I do got, what I don't got. Just know, I'm gonna stay in my lane, I ain't gonna nobody, and I don't want nobody with me.
As the investigation allegedly deepened, unconfirmed leaks now suggest that the FBI has seized nearly $500 million worth of Floyd's assets. That includes luxury cars, property, cash, and possibly even crypto wallets. All frozen, all under federal control. The official reason? Ongoing investigation into financial misconduct and tax evasion. But unofficially, this looks a lot like the government building a major case against one of the wealthiest athletes of all time. And even the greatest fighters, no matter how skilled, are human. They're not immune to life's hard blows. Floyd Mayweather's empire, once seemingly invincible, has allegedly come crashing down. According to recent reports, Mayweather, a man who seemed to have everything, was reduced to tears by the realization that he was losing everything.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about that. We're gonna get through this. That's tough because
for someone who spent his life risking his body in the ring, dodging punches, taking blows, and surviving the most brutal sport on the planet, how did he end up here? How did Floyd Mayweather, a man who became a millionaire from literally punching people in the face, go broke due to financial mistakes he couldn't foresee? The answer might surprise you. Reports suggest that Mayweather's troubles started long before the FBI began seizing his assets. In fact, the government's involvement may have been the final straw in what was already a financially disastrous situation. Sources close to the situation claim that Mayweather had been drowning in debt for years, with multiple sources suggesting that the boxer had been borrowing money from celebrities like 50 Cent and even Logan Paul to keep his head above water. The situation escalated when 50 Cent, who had a rocky relationship with Mayweather, posted a video going after Floyd, demanding the money he was owed. The video quickly went viral, exposing the depths of Mayweather's financial troubles.
You was at $99, I need some money, nigga. Bring me something because I want my money back. That money you made I need that back. Look. Am I serious?
But 50 Cent wasn't the only one calling out Mayweather. Logan Paul, the social media mogul turned boxer, also claimed that Floyd owed him money. The once untouchable fighter, who had built his entire image on money and success, was now being exposed as someone struggling to make ends meet.
Did you fight Floyd or something? Yeah. Did he pay you to lose?
Nah,
what happened?
He didn't pay me. I wish you'd pay me.
How much you owe you?
Probably between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
You got it on you by any chance?
I have in Nigerian money. I'll give you 10 million in Nigerian money. That's about $1,100.
But long before this drama played out on social media, there was one person who predicted the downfall. Conor McGregor, the UFC superstar, had warned everyone about Floyd's money troubles. He wasn't just talking trash before their fight. McGregor had openly predicted that Mayweather would eventually face massive tax problems, with the IRS coming after him. And it turns out McGregor was more than just a trash talker. He was eerily prophetic.
Let me show you what a $100 million fighter look like. Still got $100 million and then he never touched this.
Floyd Mayweather's tax issues were apparently the tip of the iceberg. While Mayweather continued to spend money on luxury watches, expensive cars, and private jets, the truth behind the scenes was far less glamorous. According to multiple reports, Mayweather had been making risky investments, pouring money into bad business ventures that never paid off. On top of that, he was reportedly borrowing money just to cover his expenses and keep his lavish lifestyle afloat.
There's no points, right? Because it's an exhibition. So that's what's interesting is Floyd's making more money than anybody, and he's boxing people who have no chance of beating him, and he's doing it as an exhibition. It doesn't even hurt his record.
Because of the drug of boxing. Just
also
like
money.
Just like but I don't even think he don't need any money.
He spends so much money.
But when you pile on all the bad investments, the untaxed earnings, and the growing debts to friends and business partners, it's no wonder that the feds eventually stepped in. Reports suggest that the FBI seized nearly $500 million in assets, including properties, cash, and potentially even crypto wallets, as part of a growing investigation into financial misconduct and tax evasion. The irony? A man who spent his entire career avoiding punches in the ring was finally knocked out by the weight of his own financial mismanagement.
Listen, I did not be being that great. So how can you not?
It's hard.
Yeah.
You know? Kanye West said it's hard to be humble when you're stunting on the Jumbotron. That's one of his lyrics. Like, when you're the best, you just...
But know what he needs to know, too, that there's only one step from the limo to the gut.
What's even more heartbreaking is the emotional toll this has taken on Mayweather. For a man who built an empire from his grit, resilience, and ability to dodge punches, losing everything due to poor financial decisions has to be devastating. Sources close to the boxer have claimed that Mayweather was brought to tears by the collapse of his empire, struggling to come to terms with the reality that all his wealth, all his success could slip away in an instant because of bad choices outside the ring. It's a brutal reminder that even the greatest champions aren't invincible. Floyd Mayweather, who once seemed untouchable, is now a cautionary tale for anyone who thinks they can simply spend recklessly without facing consequences. Bad investments, excessive spending, and careless borrowing all combined to create the perfect storm that led to his downfall.
It ain't worth it, because I'm just saying, anytime you done did what he done did right now, man, it ain't no other way he can go right now but backwards. That's the only way he can go right now. You can't go no other way.
So, how did it all happen? Well, when you put it all together, it's a recipe for disaster. Mayweather's life at its peak was a balance of luxury, bravado, and risky financial decisions. But underneath the glitz and glam, reports suggest that Floyd was drowning in debt. The feds might have seized the final pieces of his empire, but this disaster was years in the making. A man who seemed untouchable, invincible even, is now facing financial ruin. And if you think this is the end for Mayweather, think again. His story isn't over yet, but one thing's for sure. The man who once couldn't be stopped in the ring may have just met his toughest opponent yet, his own financial decisions. But what about you, fight fans? What's your opinion on all this? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this.